Now over to our film division, where we have a large slate of feature films in development and ready for production for next year. First on the list is Arcade, a 1980s action-adventure sci-fi about a group of kids who discover a hidden video game developed by a deceased robotics engineer. Genius engineer Professor Paul Hughes is head of research and development of the world's most advanced robotics program, Arcade, which stands for Remote Controlled Artificial Defense Engine. After years of tinkering, he has finally created the perfect cybernetic organism in the form of an unassuming girl named June. After an unscheduled maintenance-seized lab attacked by rival organization Gideon Industries, led by Chief Scientist Dr. Gideon Wexler, who plans to capture June and steal the technology for himself and use it for military applications. Knowing their intentions, Hughes escapes with the technology on a CD-ROM. That's right, a CD-ROM, which lands up in the hands of a bunch of kids who think they're playing a video game. Little do they know that the game has real-world consequences and that everything that they do in the game happens in real life. The comparative films include Super 8, Inner Space, the popular Netflix series, Stranger Things, and of course, Ready Player One. If you're fans of the genre, then Arcade is an absolute must-see. The film is currently in development and set to commence production in the later half of 2022, with cast and crew still being attached. So if you'd like to know more about the film, please email us below. Next up, The Entity. The Entity is an action-adventure sci-fi set in the remote coastal jungles of West Africa. When a meteorological expedition team vanishes on an excavation, a group of mercenaries are assembled to recover the missing scientists, only to discover an alien entity that has been hibernating for decades and capable of colonizing the entire planet. The film features some incredible practical and visual effects and will keep you on the edge of your seat as each of the protagonists are hunted one by one. Comparative films include the 1987 Predator starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and of course the 1986 Aliens with Sigourney Weaver. If you're a fan of the genre, then The Entity is an absolute must-see. Production of the film is set to commence in the last quarter of next year, with cast and crew still being attached, so if you're interested in finding out more about the film, then please email us below. Next up, Arms of Legends. Arms of Legends is an action sports film about the world of illegal underground arm wrestling. The film tells the story about two brothers who are both competitive arm wrestlers. When one of the brothers gets involved with the underground tycoon and fails to settle his debt, they threaten to kill his family. Forced to win the World Arm Wrestling Championships, he must undertake the impossible challenge of bringing the tycoon down and save his family. The film is jam-packed with action car chase sequences, impressive martial arts, and incredible arm wrestling sequences that will keep you glued to your screen. Comparative films include the 1987 film Over the Top starring Sylvester Stallone and the 2001 box office smash hit The Fast and the Furious. If you're a fan of the genre and love adrenaline, then this film is for you. You can find out more about Arms of Legends at our website over here. Act Films has been incredibly busy with 3 new films set for release. The first of these films is a film called Hell Trip. Hell Trip is a horror set in deepest dark Africa about a group of US tourists' vacation that turns into the ultimate nightmare when they arrive at an abandoned lodge, isolated in a remote rural area that holds an ominous and deadly secret. The film takes you on a horrifying journey of survival and explores the very real possibilities of missing tourists who vanish each year. Hell Trip was released in 2019 and has since been sold internationally, with it soon to be released in all major platforms worldwide. If you're a horror fan or simply enjoy a good slasher, then this film's for you. To find out more about the film, you can email us at info@helltripmovie.com or pre-order your copy of the film before anyone else. Please email us at sales@helltripmovie.com. Now over to Mark, who's going to tell us about our next film, The Last Sacrament.
Thanks, Patrick. Another movie that Act Films has worked on in the past is called Last Sacrament. It's a psychological thriller. It's about a family. The mother of the family is involved in a terrible car accident. They then hire a professional caregiver to look after her in the home, and she definitely turns out to be a little bit more than a caregiver. She actually terrorizes the family, and it's quite a nail-biter.
One of our most recent productions is The Construct. It's a sci-fi psychological thriller. After awakening from a terrifying nightmare, Rachel Wilcox slowly starts to discover that she's inside a virtual simulation designed to study human behavior. The film is extremely complex and explores the workings of the inner mind, leaving audience to question everything about Rachel's reality. Is it in her head, or is it not? Combined with plot twists and a lot of surprises, The Construct is an absolute must-watch. Comparative films include the 1999 cult classic The Matrix and other timeless classics like Strange Days, Dark City, and The 13th Floor. For paranormal and psychological enthusiasts, this is an absolute must-watch. For more information, email info@theconstructmovie.com or sales@theconstructmovie.com to pre-order your film now.
And that concludes our current slate of films for the year.